हाय गाइस। मेरे बैकग्राउंड को इग्नोर करने का, उसको मैं कुछ कर नहीं सकता। दिस इज़ द बेस्ट सेटअप दैट आई गॉट। तो so this is regarding this. So here comes my second vlog of obviously I know बहुत देर बाद ये आया, पर मैं फिगर आउट नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ कि कैसे करूँ। और रिसेंटली आई गॉट अ न्यू बाइक फॉर माई सेल्फ, स्क्रैम्बलर 400X। अब बात यह है, उसको मैं प्यार से डर्ट वुल बुलाता हूँ, गुल्फी। अगर आप इंस्टाग्राम में मेरे को फॉलो करते हो तो यू वुड ऑलरेडी नो मैं क्या पागलपंती कर रहा है उधर। अब ये है कि अब सेकेंड चीज़ जो अब करना है वो है कि वो पागलपंती को रिकॉर्ड करना है। फॉर देट आई वॉन्ट एन एक्शन कैमरा ऑब्वियसली। अब क्या हुआ है कि मैं मंगवाया था एक DJI का एक्शन 2 करके है, जो सस्ता सुंदर टिकाऊ काइंड ऑफ। पर प्रॉब्लम उसके साथ ये हो गया है कि वो मेरे फ़ोन के साथ पेयर ही नहीं हो रहा है, जबकि उनके ऑफिशियल वेबसाइट में दे हैव मेंशन दैट सैमसंग माई फ़ोन इज़ कंपैटिबल विद। बट तो उस टाइम मेरे को ट्रिप पे जाना था एंड द विंडो ऑफ रिप्लेसिंग दैट प्रोडक्ट would have ended by the time when I returned back from the trip. इसीलिए what I decided कि अभी रिटर्न कर देते हैं and then we'll get a new camera later। तब तो मैं GoPro ही सोच रहा था, पर अब फिर से मैं बैक टू DJI आ गया हूँ। ऑल्दो DJI गलत प्रोडक्ट गलत ब्रांड नहीं है, दे आर द मार्केट लीडर्स ऑफ drone cameras and that kind of stuff, so we can rely on that. Although the camera quality, the recording जो कर रहा था वो was top notch, no doubt on that, but the problem is if it is not connecting with my phone, it is not getting activated. It was not getting activated, and as a result of which I was not able to capture it more, because क्या होता है कि 5 attempts they give you 5 attempts, and 5 attempts if it connects with your phone, that's very good. They have a DJI Mimo app kind of thing. But if it is not able to do that, and if you are not able to connect the device with your phone, it won't get activated, and after 5 attempts it would lock down. It would say that unless you are activating it, you won't be able to use the camera for recording. Now, so what I've thought, I'll go to some camera place. I have got some recommendations, so I'll go to that camera place, take my helmet with me, and I will say that I want a camera, a budget camera, get it installed on my helmet, do all the setup, and then also pair it with my phone, and like I want the entire ecosystem to be set up by them, so that I can use it without any problem. So आज का प्लान यही है कि I'll go to that place. It is in Delhi, so it will take me approximately an hour to go. One more thing, one more update, that finally I got my what would they say, basically the number plate. सो अब मेरा बाइक टेम्प्रेरी रजिस्टर्ड नहीं है। अपन तो टेम्प्रेरी रजिस्ट्रेशन में ही बनारस पूरा घूमा है। इट वाज अ वेरी गुड एक्सपीरियंस। रिगार्डिंग द एक्सपीरियंस, सो at 4 o'clock in the morning I started mounting everything, and then I realized, oh man, my chain was completely dry, and we were supposed to ride the bike for the next 10-12 hours. Okay, actually we rode it for 14 hours. We left at 4 o'clock, 4:30, and then we reached there at 6 o'clock in the evening. 5:36. So 14 hours approximately. Now doing that chain lube, and since I do not have a middle stand in my bike, so I can't directly mount it and start the engine and do it quickly. I need to, what I do currently, what I am doing is the jugaad, that you can say it is a jugaad, that I am lubing a small part of the chain, and then I am taking the bike, moving it forward a little bit, so that that part which has been looped goes to a different direction, and I get the next slot of unlooped chain, and then I loop it again. I do that, so it takes me 10-15 minutes. But yeah, that is you cannot see it as a hectic or a very tough job to do. So it is. I am okay with doing that thing. So now, after doing that, finally I saddled up and everything. The luggage system was damn good this time. I got two Vitaira products. One was tail bag, which was exactly, it was not even like, it was not tucking it also, or tucking, or it was not so there are two kind of bag that you can three kinds actually that you can saddle up. Okay, one is the saddle bags, which does not have any luggage kind of thing upon the seat, and it would basically hold hang upon the seat, and there would be two back kind of two portions where you can fill stuffs in both the sides of the bike, and it would be hanging. So for that you need a saddle stay. In Classic 350, when I was having that, I did not needed that because there was sari guard and everything. It was having the structures which would stop the saddle from getting intact with the tires. But now what the problem is that in my bike, the new one, the Scrambler, here it does not have that kind of thing, and second, it throws dirt at the next level. You can, if you are using a saddle bag, it would be completely ruined by the end of any rainy ride, and we were supposed to have a rainy ride. Now what we did, so that was not an option. The second way you can do is, it is like so let's say this is the seat, okay, and then what the luggage bag that I'm talking about, I'm not getting the name. What it does, it has a space above the seat, and it also kind of hangs near to the seat. It is not that low, but yeah, so it is in this direction kind of thing. Okay, that, but for me, I don't know, I didn't like that much, so I thought, no, I don't want to get that. The third option that they show, that is actually a tail bag kind of tail bag, which sits upon the seat. It is big enough to store your luggage if you are traveling for 4 to 5 days. We did a 4 to 5 days, and even there were t-shirts and shirts which I didn't use, so I can be much better. Although I have walked a very long way to get all of these packaging things in a very small space, but I need to work more on it. So that is there, and then I got a tank bag which sits in front of me. So all my electronic gadgets and everything was in the tank bag, and all my clothing, the lubes and the sprays and everything was in the tail bag. So this was my luggage system. So I did all the luggage, and I did put all the luggage and everything in the morning after looping, and then we finally started riding towards Lucknow. So our first destination was Lucknow. We started riding it at so first we went, there were two paths from my place in Gurgaon. The one was to go via Noida, so we took the expressway basically. So to join that expressway, Yamuna expressway from Noida, and go through there. So you first go to Delhi, and then from Motibag metro station, from there you take the route towards Noida via the Delhi Noida flyover, and then after crossing Yamuna, you pass nearby to the Akshardham, and then you start with Yamuna Expressway. Okay, so that was one route, and the second route was when you go from here to, first you will go to Sona, then Palwal, and then from Palwal you would take the Palwal Aligarh route. and then from Palwal Aligarh route in the middle only, when where like 17 kilometers before Aligarh there is a place called Tappal. So from Tappal you would join the Yamuna expressway. Unfortunately, we took the second one, and second one, the problem with which was it goes from the village in the village. So if you wanna explore a place, definitely going via the countryside feels more authentic, and it is more adventurous also. You kind of meet more people. But since we live here, I have been to Palwal, to Sona many of the times, so I didn't want it. But then also we thought that okay, it is saving us 20-30 kilometers, let's do that. But no, it was not a very good decision. We should have taken the Delhi route. It was much faster and straight. Just pull on throttle and join the expressway. So we did lose quite a amount of hour when we were riding via the Sona Palwal road. And then after as we crossed the Sona Palwal road, after that we finally after 2-3 hours, spending 2-3 hours running our bike through those countryside roads. Although the quality of roads have improved, the last time when I went to Raigad, my hometown, so I took that road only because that connects to the Srinagar Chennai National Highway, the old highway, and you need to join that via Palwal only. So at that time the road was very bad. Like till Sona you would get good roads, because like when you are passing through Gurgaon, you would get good roads, and as soon as you start moving like crossing Sona and moving towards Palwal, the road was very bad. It was having like 20% of roads and 80% of potholes, big potholes. Like you cannot maintain a good speed. But this time when I went, I was surprised kind of, because I saw that it was complete tarmac. The roads are good. They have been what's the word? ठीक करा दिए गए हैं. They have been fixed. So I reached. Then as soon as we joined Yamuna Expressway, we believed that now we just need to ride our bikes and get to Lucknow. There were no problems. In Yamuna Expressway, one thing that I noticed, that if you are riding on a bike, there is a two-wheeler lane. You cannot ride on all the lanes. The expressway you are only meant to ride on the two-wheeler lane. So you can use the lane just so it is the leftmost lane. They assume that two-wheelers are the slowest of all the vehicles, whereas it is not, because obviously there are trucks, and trucks are much slower. They ride at 60, 70 max, not more than that. They have that speed limit also. Okay, so two-wheeler lane is towards the left. Although I get the point, because two-wheelers have this mentality of changing lanes very rapidly, and which could lead them into trouble because there are faster cars who are moving. So I get the point though. So there was two-wheeler lanes. One of the problem that I found, that I experienced in expressway, is that they have very less petrol pump stops. And when you are going by car, you have a 40-50 liters tank, and if it is even giving you a let's say a mileage of 10 also, then a 40-50 liters tank would give you a 400 to 500 range, right? But the problem with the bikes is that, at least for my bike, I had 30 liters, out of which you can remove out the 2 liters, because obviously I won't be fueling up when I am done with my petrol, when I'm done with my like all of the petrol, I consumed all of it. I would not do that, right? So the problem with that was that uh, the petrol pumps were at a distance of 100 to 150 kilometers. Sometimes it was also 150, 160 kilometers away, and due to that, say I fueled up, let's say I reached to a petrol pump, I fueled it up, and my bike only gives it was giving a mileage of 22 to 23 kmpl, so it would only run for like the reserve would start at 200ish kilometers. Okay, so I can't afford, although my bike might reach to the second one also, because 100 and then the 150, so 250 kilometers it would go, but I would be under constant tension that, oh man, what because you do not know. I was riding for the first time in expressway and Yamuna expressway, and I was not knowing where the fuel stops are, and as a result of which I was constantly under the tension that let's fuel it up. So in every time, every 100 150 kilometers, whenever we were getting a petrol pump, we were fueling it up. So it increased our fuel stops, and that is one of the reasons why we were not able to reach much faster than we expected. But that is only one negative that I found. Other than that, the roads are phenomenal. You can ride. So we were doing 120, 130. Constantly we were cruising at it, no problem. That it's just that your bike should be capable. You would always feel that your bike is not that capable what the road wants. But yeah, you are gonna enjoy if you like riding that kind of riding. I enjoy riding on expressways or good highways for sure. But yeah, that is one of the things. So you would not be and one more advantage of riding obviously in the expressways, you do not get cattle or any okay, fun fact, but we were thinking that we won't be getting any cattle or that kind of thing, but we did find a very big lizard. It would be at least like this big. It was the first time when I saw it. I was like, oh man. But yeah, you won't get any cattle or any people, so you can ride it. You can cruise at a higher speed, and you would. The road was definitely giving us a huge amount of confidence. So, for in Agra Yamuna Expressway, if you are riding from Noida, you would have to give a toll of. If you are riding on bike, I'm not sure about car, but if you are riding on bike, you would have to spend 205 for the Agra Yamuna Expressway. So if you start from Noida, but when we were going towards Lucknow, when we were going that side, so we joined at Palwal, right? So we had to pay 145 toll because the first toll was Mathura, and then the second toll was Agra. So 2 tolls, and that was 145 for a bike. And then when we reached the end of the Yamuna Expressway, and when we were moving towards, when we were basically laying over towards the Lucknow Expressway, at that time also there is one toll that comes up. I'm not sure if the cars were paying there also who were going towards Lucknow, but yeah, definitely there was a toll gate. We crossed that, and bikers did not have to pay any toll there. And then after as we started riding on Lucknow Expressway, so Lucknow Expressway, it does not has this two-wheeler lane kind of thing. There is a stopping lane. If you have any emergency and if you want to stop, there is a lane for it. But the other 3 lanes are truck lane, bike lane, truck lane, car lane, and an overtake lane. Okay, and one more thing that I noticed is, although Lucknow expressway do charge you amount, we paid 330 rupees from Agra to Lucknow. They do charge that money, but there is no explicit two-wheeler lane or two-wheeler booth in the toll plaza. You would have to go to the leftmost uh, passage, and they would stop you and they would ask you to pay that money, and then you can go. And at the end also, you can the same thing. You would, when you show the token, you would be left allowed to pass there. So Lucknow Expressway was good, and obviously, so since there was no two-wheeler lane kind of thing, we were able to maneuver from one lane to another. We were able to overtake. Most of the cars that I noticed were running at 100, 110 max. Not 110 also, yeah, 100 you can say, because when we were traveling at 110, 115, we had to overtake them. There were many a times when I had to go to the overtake lane, overtake and come back. One more thing to call out here is that in expressway, there is a truck lane and there is a car lane, right? And let's say, since there is no two-wheeler lane explicitly, so car lane is what you need to use. So when you're riding on it, you are going on and on and on, and then when you want to overtake, at that time you just need to see once you're using your mirror that if there is any vehicle, because in overtake lane, cars do drive with the mindset that I need to ride it fast and overtake whatever is there, right? So many a times it might happen that you can see that there are two adjacent cars, two consecutive cars running before you, and you want to overtake both of them, right? So there is a possibility that when you are trying to overtake, there might be a car who is also doing the same and is also thinking of overtaking you. So always do make a point of it that you need to look back and see once if any car is coming or not, or else you might land into a mishap. So we were constantly looking. Once we look behind, no car, got a clearance, take the overtake lane, ride fast, again come back to the main lane. So that is how we're doing. Although there were cars who were not actually doing that, but most of the drivers knew this thing, and they were using the overtake lanes to overtake and the main lane to ride. No problem on that. And then by evening 6 o'clock, 5:30, 6, we reached Lucknow. Now, if you are in Lucknow and if you do not have the cuisine of Lucknow, you have missed a lot of it. Although since we were having a very less amount of time, that because we had to go for Varanasi next day in the morning only. So what we thought that let's not try visit the monuments, although it was late in the evening, right? So Badai Mangda, and there were many historical places that we wanted to visit, but we were not able to do that. So what we decided, let's explore the food there. And initially we went to a place called Chowk, and in the Chowk we went first to in the hunt of Tunde Kababi. It is a franchisee there who makes very good Galavati kebabs. So we went there in the Chowk, and they said that no sir, if you want to eat the authentic or the main Tunde Kababi franchisees products, you should visit Aminabad. So from Chowk, Aminabad is basically Jama Masjid of Delhi. It was that kind of rush, and man, we took our bikes. So we both went in my bike only, So it was jam packed, and we slowly moved towards, and we finally reached the Tunde Kebabi. We parked my vehicle, and then we tried Galardi kebab, and then Galardi kebab with Mughlai paratha. And when I read Mughlai paratha, since in West Bengal, in Kolkata, Mughlai paratha means you would have a feeling inside it. It is a feeling of egg. If you are eating a normal Mughlai paratha, it would have egg, and there are some spices also, which are filled inside it and then deep fried. So they are and then what they do is they cut, it is a big rectangle kind of thing, and then they chop it off into small cube structures, and with which they give ghugni or aloo dum, also dum aloo, kind of thing, along with the Mughlai paratha. But here in Lucknow, by the Mughlai paratha, they meant it was basically a paratha made out of refined flour, maida, and Galardi kebab. And I would recommend it to all of the viewers that it is a very good combination, and you should definitely, whenever you go, if you get a chance to visit Lucknow, do try this combination. It was mouth filling, and I felt that it was one of the best food that I have tried. After that, we ordered mutton korma with rumali roti and avdi biryani. So initially, I tried avdi biryani for the first time there. What I noticed is that Kolkata's biryani, if you remove the aloo, the big boiled potato, if you remove that, then it is basically avdi biryani. The difference between avdi biryani and Kolkata biryani is an aloo. That's it. There is no the flavor and the texture and the color of the biryani is exactly the same. I did like it because I do love Kolkata biryani. Whenever I visit Kolkata, it is one of the things that I would definitely eat if I get a chance. And after that, we ate till the brim of our stomach, and we had nothing left in us to eat anything else. So what we decided, even it was we were seeing that it was our Google Bow was predicting that there would be rain there. So what we thought, instead of getting stuck in jam plus rain, let's go back. And although it was late also, most the shops were starting to close, so we went back to our hotel. So we were not able to try all the cuisines of Lucknow, but the main star cuisines, we were fortunately able to try them. And then we went back to our hotel. We stayed at Backpackers Den, and the initially when we were reaching to that place, we saw that it is going through residential places. It was inside a colony kind of thing, and we were like, how can a hotel be there? So basically, Backpackers Den is near the railway station only. It's in 69 Avenue Mall or something like that. It is near to the station, Backpackers Den. So what they have done, it is a residential place only, and what they have modified it to a co-living, not a co-living space, a hostel kind of thing, that you can go and you can book a dorm or anything like that. And it was good. The staff was polite, they were helpful, and they were very curious about our bikes also. They were asking that how much does it cruise at, what's the mileage, and how much does it cost and everything. They were the the helps the households were very much curious about that. And now after that we then moved towards started moving towards Varanasi. So we woke up late that day because obviously we ate too much of mutton, and one of the drawbacks of eating mutton or chicken too much is that you feel like sleeping the next day completely if you have consumed it at night. So which was the case with us, and even we were also very tired because of the 600, it was 550 to 600 kilometer ride that day, the last day. So we woke up at 7-8 o'clock in the morning, and then we did the breakfast. It was a complimentary breakfast, and puri sabji was there. And so we did the breakfast, we drank some tea, and then we started moving towards Banaras. The route we took, there are two routes. The one is via the Purvanchal Expressway. You take the Purvanchal Expressway, you go to point to there is an exit after certain kilometers where from towards Banaras, and from where you need to ride 107 kilometers more for Banaras. That is one of the route, but we were not aware of it. And we also saw the second route was there is a highway on the Lucknow, Sultanpur, Jaunpur, Banaras highway, and that is what we took the next day. We started at 10:30 or 11 in the morning, and then we reached, okay, yeah, it was evening because, okay, so we reached Banaras by 3 o'clock, 2 or 3 o'clock only. It was not late. Because the roads are good. It is just that since it is a highway, there are many towns do sit on top of those highways, so as a result of which, when a town arrives, you would have to slow down because people do cross the roads. There are even many times there are cattle, there are buffaloes, cows, and that kind of thing. So you need to be cautious that whenever you see that a town is arriving, you would have to slow down. And one of the bad thing about Scrambler 400X is it has got decent, I would say, I won't say bad brakes. In the reviews they were saying that the brakes are very bad, but no, maybe although they have upgraded the brake lever so that it gives you a little bit more brake punch, but I would say it is optimal. I don't feel that I need to change it now, and I'm zero confident about the brakes, but but this is sure that whenever this brake pads do worn out, I would have to get the sintered ones which are used in speed. Although there was a very good logic given by one of the Triumph technician that the brake, if you give sintered brakes, it would brake so hard, and since the height of the bike is quite high, there is a chance that you might not feel comfortable when it brakes too hard because it would dip. And that is one of the thing even which I felt in the organic brake pads that they are providing by stock. So I'll see, I'll definitely install the sintered ones and see how it feels, and then we'll decide later on that what to do. So we had to slow down quite a bit whenever we were reaching any town or we were crossing any town. but it was a good ride. We reached there and then we went to Triumph Varanasi. Now Triumph Varanasi, because the other bike, Harshit's bike, needed the first service to be done. Mine was already done, so we went to the basically the showroom, and they said that no, our service center is not situated here. You need to go 50 meters backward. You will get the Triumph service center there. There. So but they were kind enough to give a call and say that they are. And my bike had one problem. My bike, one of the bolts of the leg guard was missing. I would also like to say, talk about the build quality of the bike, that there is a bush kind of thing which sits between the leg guard and the chassis. Okay, and there is a nut bolt which is passing through, holding the bush and the leg guard. Okay, now that nut was not available, was not, I'm not sure when did it went off, or was it done, was it did it fall while the trip, or was it not there even from the in before the trip or not. I'm not sure of that. But regarding the build quality or the design, that the bush which was supposed to hang there is supposed to hang there on the top of the bolt, and the bolt is not there, present there. So you would assume that the bush might also fall. But I rode the bike for 600 kilometers, then again to Banaras for the next 300 kilometers, complete 900 kilometers. And guess what? That the bush was there and it didn't fall. And it is not that it is attached there or it has been joined there by some adhesive or something like that. But it is not that. If I pull it up, it would come into my hand. Although I did not dare do that, because I thought that if I do it, I don't know what might happen to the leg guard, because it is also, there are 2 points where the leg guards are, the top bolt and there is a bottom bolt. Bottom side, it is a bigger bolt or a much complex mechanism to hold it. So that was the reason why the leg guard was standing straight. But I am completely shocked or surprised by the fact that bush did stay for the 900 kilometers, and it is not that I'm riding it like a I'm riding it very slow at a 60, 70 only. I rode it for 120, 130, it did 140, even I rode it at 150, it didn't fall. So I would like to take this opportunity to praise how Triumph is in building the product. Hats off on that. So we reached the service center, and they said, okay, that's not a problem, we'll fix it. So they did a general checkup on my bike also. I thought, let's do a general checkup if there is any problem with the ECU mapping, or because it was already 900 kilometers, right? So I thought, why not? And in the meanwhile, the second Harsh's bike was getting serviced. After everything was done, chain was lubed and everything was done, we went to Banaras. The ghats, our hotel were just near the ghats. It was a riverside stay was the name, hotel riverside stay. It was 10-15 meters from the Ganga Ghat, and as a result of it, we were not aware that the roads there are so narrow, that and that is the reason why it is also it is said, and there are songs which talk about that there is a song, right, in Shadi Mein Zarur Aana, where Tu Banja Gali Banaras ki main sham talak bhatku tushme. And now when I went there, I understood the meaning of the song, because I did uh, when we were taking our bikes inside towards the hotel, we were completely lost. We were asking people where to go, and Google Maps also do not work there. It is a ocean of streets, small streets, gullies, and then we finally reached the hotel where we had to stay. We unsaddled all of our luggage. We placed them there, and then we went for parking. Went for getting our bikes to the parking. There was a parking nearby who were charging 20 rupees per night for our bikes, which was decent enough, and we thought it would be better to keep our bikes in a proper parking place instead of those gullies. There are people who do, the locals do keep their vehicles aligned to the walls of their houses. Although it does reduces the space much lesser, because already there is a very small amount of space there. You like two people walking parallelly is also congested. Is also not that easy there. So that is the reason why we also choose, because our bikes do not have middle stand. They cannot stand straight. They would be tilted towards one side, and it would be taking much more space than it would take in middle stand kind of setup. So that is the reason why we parked there. And then as soon as we parked, we went walking in the streets and seeing that how we did freshen up ourselves, and then we went to the ghats. So guess what? Which ghat should you go? I got a call from my dad, and he said that don't visit. He gave me a list of ghats. You should not go there. But one of them was Manikarnika Ghat, and the entire reason why I wanted to go to Banaras was Kashi Vishwanath temple and visiting Manikarnika Ghat, because if you have seen the movie Masan, there Vicky Kaushal, the character which Vicky Kaushal was playing, she was one of the guy who did that for his living, whose family, it was a family business kind of thing, you can say. And so I wanted to feel what exactly do they feel there, doing that task every day on a day-to-day basis. And that was the reason why I wanted to go there. We went to that ghat, and so now it is that time of the year when when there is a huge amount of rain, so they open the dams so that the water, because the water level rises a certain limit, they had to open the dam. So since they opened the dam, the level of the water in all the ghats have increased substantially, and most of the mandirs which are small, there are many small temples which are situated near the ghats, which is very beautiful and very mesmerizing kind of thing. But when we went to those ghats, we saw that they were all submerged. Only the top section, the triangular or the cone section of the temples were only visible, and other than that it was completely submerged in the water. And that was the same case with the Manikarnika Ghat also, and that is the reason why they were doing all the ceremonies and all the rituals of burning a person, a dead person, at a platform, at a higher platform. So we did go there, and as soon as we were walking through the roads or the gullies which were going towards the Manikarnika Ghat, was also very, there was, you can feel an energy there which or a vibe which would make you feel a little bit, which is depressing, or you can say it is a negative energy that you can feel there. Even when I'm talking about that, it is giving me kind of chills. But it is not scary, but also you can say that it is a mindset kind of thing, that when you are walking through that streets and there are dead bodies passing by, people are taking them to that particular place. So it does feel a kind it gives you a negative energy. It gives you you feel that negative energy there, the sorrow, the sadness. There were people sitting there, who were crying. You can feel the silence there. So as soon as we reached the ghat, we can since it was happening at a platform, we can see there was fumes and fumes from a particular platform. So, and in the bottom side there were logs kept. There were huge amount of logs, and there were people who were selling logs to be used for burning. Then we climbed that platform to get the actual view of how it looks there. So when we were standing there, we spent we were there for 15-20 minutes, not more than that. We were looking at there were many people there who were standing by the side. There were places where you can stand there. So there were many people who were standing there, and who were completely silent. You can sense their sorrow there, what they were feeling and everything. On the contrast, there were people also who were owning. So there were slots kind of thing made there. So let's say there are 10 places in that platform where burning rituals were done, were carried out. So let's say in the 10 there are 3 players, you can say 3 people who own three of them, let's say. Okay, so each player had 3 slots, so they can burn 3 dead bodies parallelly, right? And there were their agents kind of thing, you can say, who were there, who were situated near the parking area where the people were coming by cars, where they were parking their vehicles there. And all the negotiations of this much money would be required and everything would be done. What would happen there? And then when this guy would say, okay, this particular slot is done, we can do one more. Or if that guy is thinking and seeing that, okay, this slot is about to be over, then he would give a call to that agent kind of thing, and then there the entire body would be wrapped up and in a certain manner, and everything. And they would only, like, I cannot see the families doing that thing. Maybe one of them would be from the family, but mainly they were the agent's staff, you can say, whose activity was, one is the one who is standing there doing overviewing what the slots, when the slots would get over or something, or when it would happen. There were people, there might be many more, but I can see there one person is standing doing that thing. There would be one agent, and there are 3-4 staff kind of thing, whose task would be to take the body from that point till Manikarnika Ghat. Because what I've seen is that when it is uh, when when uh, family when the family is doing that thing, they are not fast. They do it slowly. They because they have that emotion. They are walking. They are taking their body, but they go through a huge amount of self thinking or that kind of vibe, right? They think that they are taking a body, a person whom they love, kind of thing. But when it comes to the stuff, they do not have that emotional connection, right? I was like, they were running. They were not. They were very fast. Like they were rushing towards that place. Like one slot or the other. They do not. They wanted to make money out of it. So after when we were standing there and we were seeing all of these things, so after a certain amount of time, it started feeling normal. The bodies getting kept there, bodies coming. It felt exactly like a blast furnace kind of thing in a factory where these bodies are just coals. You are keeping there, or you can say, yes, you are, or iron ore. The coal is the wood. They are bringing diesel or petrol. You need that, and they are burning it. It is that. It is very normal for them. There is no emotion or something like that. It is just iron ore for them, kind of thing. There is a furnace which is going on, and there is a slot. You are making money off it. So maybe initially for a certain amount of time, whenever a person joins this business, might feel bad about it, but eventually they are okay with it. They are, or maybe they are not that okay with it, but you cannot sense that. You would have to, maybe you would have to talk with that people to understand how they feel about it. But yeah, that is what I felt. Then we came back to our place, to our hotel, because next day we wanted to visit Kashi Vishwanath. We wanted, so we came back. We again freshened up. Uh, and then the next day morning when we woke up, we went to Kashi Vishwanath ji, this place, and it was a very very good experience. Um, when we went inside it, and and even there was no much delay. There were people who were saying that it would take you 2-3 hours also. And when we went in, it took us 35-40 minutes max, and it was done. It was a very good feeling there. And then after that, we came back again. We again came back to our hotel, because it was afternoon, and sun was at the peak of its brightness, and that was and it was very getting difficult for us. And we thought that we had much of a time. We had no rush, and that's why what we thought, that let's stay here and let's go to hotel. Let's get us freshened up, let's have some rest, and then in the evening we'll go for Ganga Aarti and all. So that day we woke up in the evening, and then we went to Dasashwini Ghat. And when we were going to Dasashwini Ghat, before that we got some kachori wala. So the kachori that they make are small kachoris. Okay, so what they do is they smash them. It has potato inside it, potato filling, aloo filling inside it, and they mash it, and they uh, use they use chana sabji. It is Bengal gram or the ghugni that we say in Bengali, or the cereal that is used in chaat, right? So that they put, and there are many more. They had that green chutney, the red chutney. Uh, they they mix that, and it was very tasty. Later, when I came back, I got to know that there was this tomato chaat, which is very famous in Banaras, and we were not at all aware of it, and we went there and we did not had it because we were not aware of it. No problem. We'll visit Banaras sometimes later again, and then I will have the tomato chaat there. So after that, we went to Dasashwini Ghat, and in Dasashwini Ghat, we when we reached there, obviously same problem, water level has rise, so the Ganga Aarti was not happening the way it happens. Like there is a platform, a big platform where they stand, all the pujaris, all the pandits, they stand there and they do the puja, Aarti, and people do visualize it. But when we went there, we saw that obviously since the water level was so high, and also the boat rides were all stopped. You cannot do boat rides there. As a result of which, what this is a very good way of making a way of living when the situation is not working the way you want it to work. That is what I saw there, that all the boat riders or the people who are in the boat business, what they have figured out is people do come here to watch Ganga Aarti. So we have stacked our boats in a certain manner that you can look at the Ganga Aarti from sitting on the by sitting on the boat, and the far you go and sit, you would get a better visibility of the entire Ganga Aarti, and as a result of which you have to pay a big higher price. It was 200 for the front, 300 at the mid, and 500 at the end. That was the price bracket. That was the price they were asking for. We thought we were not that much interested in going, because I have been to Rishikesh, and I have seen the famous Ganga Triveni Ghats Ganga Aarti, which was very mesmerizing. So we were not that enthusiastic about watching the Ganga Aarti, and also the reason was that it was not happening the way it happens. So what we thought, we just saw that okay, there is a rooftop above, let's go to that rooftop and let's see if we can see something from the top of that place. We went there, and we went to so it was a restaurant kind of thing. We ordered chai and pakoras there. So there an incident happened. So they were saying that if you want to get a better view or visibility of the Ganga Aarti, if you want to do that, go above, there is a terrace above, and you would have to pay 200 rupees per person for that. Okay. Yeah. But they did not mention anything about sitting in the restaurant. What we saw that from restaurant also there is a okayish visibility, and we can manage with it, and so we thought why to spend money on that. We'll sit here and we'll watch the Ganga Aarti from here. We sat there, we watched the Ganga Aarti, we had the tea and everything. When we are going back, we asked for the bill and we paid. So that guy did say it was you would have to pay 360. and in our brain we were having the amount to be 60 only, because we had some chai and some, we had only chai only, so that was 60 rupees. So he said no, 300 rupees for you sitting here and watching the Ganga Aarti. And we were shocked. We were like, you did not mention that. You said that if you want to go to the terrace and watch Ganga Aarti from there, then you would have to pay. So there was a kind of heated conversation there. The restaurant owners did not behave in a very good manner, and they were thinking that we were just trying to escape out of giving the money to them, and there was a kind of scam going on there. Even they were having some issues with other people standing there also. So but we then thought of, okay, finding a middle ground and getting out of there. We paid half of that money that they were asking, and then we went outside. After that, so I stopped recording at that time. Initially I thought might be it won't be visible because the frame does not change, the lighting, it does not change, and nobody would be able to understand that it is 10 o'clock in the night. But then I realized that there's a clock that's showing up on the screen, and obviously people would be able to understand, but no problem on that. So after we got out from that rooftop cafe, we then moved to we were exhausted, and next day we had to go for go back to Gurgaon, come back to Gurgaon. Then we started walking towards our hotel room. These 2 days these days when we were staying in Banaras, we decided that the pain that we took to get our bikes to the parking, we ain't gonna take it until and unless we are going back from Banaras. So it was there for 2-3 days, and after that, so we started walking towards our hotel to take rest, because next day it was a long day. We planned of driving our bikes for 900 kilometers straight. We both never did that, so it was, we were not we were thinking that can we do that or not. As soon as we started walking, after 10-15 minutes of walking only, we saw that there is a massive jam there, and we were not able to understand why. Like, we were walking, right? If bike jam you can understand, but or if you are in a car, but if you are not able at all, nobody was able to walk also. It was jam packed, and that particular road that takes to the Dasashwini Ghat, and you come back. We were walking back to our hotel from the Dasashwini Ghat. Then we got to know that the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh was there for a visit in one of the hospitals. So there was a hospital nearby, and maybe there must be some patients, or maybe that was a daily activity that he uses to do. But you can see the fan following, or a will in the heart of people there to get a glimpse of him. They were standing there to look for him, to get a glimpse of him. Although there were people who were also not liking the jam, and they were speaking against this entire thing of blocking the roads because he has arrived. But obviously he is the Chief Minister of the state, and if he visits, there needs to be a security structure that needs to be built, right? So it makes sense. So what we thought, that since it is jammed and we cannot walk, we cannot go through that road. So that main road was a straightforward road to come back to our hotel, and or else we'll have to go by again gullies and gullies, and that was, we were exhausted, and it was very difficult. It is very difficult because it was between. If you start walking towards the hotel that we were staying in between Kashi Vishwanath temple would come. So it was very difficult for us to understand how are we gonna navigate through the gullies and get to our place. And moreover, the ghats were also blocked because of the heightened and the water level rise. And then we thought, let's go to a restaurant, have our dinner, and by the time we'll have our dinner, hopefully we'll get this jam thing would be over. And it eventually happened. When we were done, we entered the restaurant named Keshri or something like that. I'm very bad with names, I just realized. But so we thought that in North India, proper North India, how can you get a good South Indian, right? But I'm not sure why we did order South Indian at there. But damn, that was a very good South Indian that I ate in North India. I have never even thought that I'll be able to eat. So we ordered special masala dosa and Mysore masala dosa there, and it was very good. The sambar that they made was top notch. I liked it. Although I'm not a proper South Indian to say that if it was a good South Indian or not, but all the places that I have eaten South Indian foods, I do think that it was a good restaurant to have South Indian food. Although interestingly, when I was there, I saw that there were many shops, there were many places where the names of those places were written in South Indian literature also. So there may be a chance that they do cater to South Indian. Not only the restaurant, there were many more restaurants who were catering South Indian foods. There was a restaurant named as Dakshin Bharat or something like that. So there were restaurants who were completely South Indian, who were serving South Indian cuisines only, and also mainly South Indian cuisines. Along with that, they were also obviously having North Indian cuisines in their menu. But Banaras do cater to South Indian, do have there is a mindset, you can say, or proper care has been taken for South Indian people there. Like if you are even in a North Indian state, if the let's say there is one shop, a normal shop, there were many small shops whose names were written in English and also in South India. I'm not sure which exactly, was it Telugu, Tamil, or I'm not sure of that, but it was something of a South Indian literature. So after having our dinner, we walked towards our hotel. There also one incident took place where when I went inside a shop, there were many shops who were selling miniature models of the temples, Shivji, and many stuff related to puja and all. So I entered and I was fascinated by one of the Shiv Murti, which was completely made of glass. It was a glass Shivling, and I was curious. I asked, how much does it cost? That person was, I'm not sure. Maybe he was annoyed by something, or not by me, but previously maybe there have been someone or something like that. He just said that I don't know, I'm not interested in selling anything right now, can you please go away. Please don't. Uh, yeah, please don't waste my time, kind of thing. And I was like, okay, if you don't wanna sell. So we went out, and finally at the end, the last thing that we did in Banaras was having the famous Banarasi pan. Uh, the thing that I would comment on the Banarasi pan thing, that it was very soft, and they do it. What they do, they take the pan and they do uh, a processing on it, not just in front. They haven't done it in front of me. Like, they have made the pan soft enough that if you take it in your mouth, it would dissolve, kind of thing. So that particular pan leaf, the betel leaf, they used for making the pan, and we had that Banarasi pan, and after that we came back to our hotel. And the next day in the morning, then when we woke up around 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, 3:30, yeah. Then we had we did make sure that we had all our stuffs already packed, so that whenever we get up in the morning, we just need to dress up and we'll leave. That is what we did. We freshened up, we dressed up, we left for for getting our bikes out of the parking place where it was placed, and then started. Then I saw, as soon as I got my bike out of the parking, I saw it is drizzling, and I was like, oh man. So constantly we were under the impression that we would get rain, but right from Gurgaon till Banaras, we had very less amount of rain. When we started from Gurgaon till till the Tappal area, we did get a very less amount of rain, and for that we did put all our rain gears and everything. We rode our bike for the next 10-15 kilometers. Then we saw that, okay, the sky is again clean and we ain't gonna get the rain. So again we removed our rain gears, and after that we didn't get any rain. But as soon as we started coming back to Gurgaon, the day started with drizzle in the morning, 4 o'clock, and then it did intensify after 5-10 minutes, and we stopped at a place. We did eat some we did drink tea, and we then put proper rain gears, and no, not there. We did drink tea, and we were actually finding petrol, because we were completely zero in terms of petrol in our bike, both of us. And then we finally found a petrol pump. We fueled our bikes, and we started commuting to started traveling towards our Gurgaon. And then we at a point, the rain was completely it was very high, and it was we had to stop at a dhaba. And then we thought that let's stop at a dhaba, get a rain gears, and also get some breakfast. We were constantly having this thing in our mind that we'll have to do a 900 kilometer today, and 900 kilometer is not a joke in a single day. And one of our problems of Scrambler is that the headlight is of no use. So if you are riding at night, you would be completely blind. You would not, and that was also one of the reasons. Like, when we started riding at 4 o'clock, we were not able to see the roads. We were just riding blindly out of good faith, kind of thing. And obviously that is risky, and we did not wanted this to happen when we reach our reach Gurgaon. And then but then we stopped at that dhaba. We had aloo parathes in the morning. That is the a no-brainer kind of question. When you are on a ride in early morning breakfast, what you gonna have? Paratha. Especially in North India, and if you are in the Central India kind of thing, then pohas come into picture, and many other uh, cuisines. Dosa, idli is also relevant if you want travel towards South India. But yeah, then we had our breakfast, we got our rain gears, and then we rode for next 200 kilometers straight in heavy rain. We were doing 100, 120 with the we were having no problem there. But obviously, since it was raining, the rain water was creeping inside. No, none of the rain gear is waterproof. It just gives you a confidence kind of thing. You can say that. Yeah, but yeah, the entire water went inside my boot, and my boot was feeling uh, it was feeling bad and nasty kind of thing. But yeah, you have no option there. So then we rode and we stopped at a Muradabadi food outlet, and we had our Muradabadi biryani there. After so it was around uh, 10-11 o'clock. Then when we stopped there, we had our Muradabadi biryani there. And one thing that we did not think straight off, that we were having biryani and we'll have to ride for the next 10 15 10 12 hours, and that was that we both of us we did not think of. And then we had our biryani, we kept all our riding gears. Okay, I don't think so we are gonna get more rain. And then so we had our biryanis, quite amount. We ate like more than a plate kind of thing. We had full of our stomach, we were so hungry, we were like, let's eat. And then when we were back on saddle uh, after riding for an hour or an half an hour or an hour, we started feeling sleepy, both of us. And it was I was very much sleepy. I was constantly controlling my eyes from shutting off. But there was a point when I felt that for me it was just the blink of an eye. But for that particular second or not millisecond, a second, at least, when I woke up, when I opened my eye, I felt that for the last 1 second I was not feeling the vibrations of my bike, which means I was completely shut off for that 1 second. And then I realized that, man, I am getting like the sleep is creeping inside me, and it can cause danger. So then I opened my visor. I was standing on the saddle and riding it for some time, so that so that I do not feel sleepy. And that did work. Then again, in the next fuel stop, we did stop there, and we had water and everything. Then after that, we were not feeling sleepy. We were doing a constant speed of 120, 130. Sometimes we were also cruising at 140. Both of our bikes were completely on that pace, that they were knowing that it is normal 130. You would have to do a 7,000 rpm for the next 15 hours. We were doing that. And then we the same the way that we came in, we joined to the expressways, and then we completed our ride by the Yamuna Expressway. It was late. It got quite late at night by the time, because we were taking quite a stop. So as the kilometers were dropping in, we were getting much more lazier. We were like, okay, this is there only. We'll be able to do that. Not a problem. the lightings are okay. The lightings on the road were okay, so we were not that at we were not at much of a problem, and our bike light were doing decent. Like we did lose our that space. We were doing an 80 70 80 towards the end of the of our ride, and then we again, but this time we did not come from the Tapal Palwal that road. We decided no, we are not gonna do that. We are gonna come to from the Noida. So we did end our expressway ride in Noida, and then we did the DND by the Delhi Noida flyover. We came till Moti Bagh, and then from Moti Bagh we took the exit from that, and then we joined the NH8, and yeah. And after that, guess what? How I ended the ride? Again by having a plate of Muradabadi biryani. I do love Muradabadi biryani. So there is a place in Cyber City. So the NH8 place where Ambience Mall is in Gurgaon, the Gurgaon Ambience Mall. There are two Ambience malls. One is in Gurgaon, one is in Vasant Vihar, or it's in Delhi. So the one in Gurgaon, near to that there is a Muradabadi place, Shahi Muradabadi biryani, and I think that they make one of the best Muradabadis, and I keep on visiting that place. So I obviously that was on my route, and I was in Gurgaon. I did a 900 kilometer, and I was like, there is nothing. There is I definitely got a reason to celebrate myself. So I did. Harshit was quite exhausted, and was like, I'm not gonna stop here. I'm gonna directly stop at my place. I'm gonna freshen up and then think of anything else. So I went there. I had one good, nice dinner there in Muradabadi biryani center, and then I came back to my place with lots of memories. And that's it. That is how my Gurgaon UP circuit from Gurgaon, the UP circuit was completed. We were not able to explore cities like Kanpur because of our plan. We thought of staying more in I got a call actually. So that is so we thought of staying more in Banaras to explore Banaras, because there was no point in just touching the place cities. So we did explore. We were not able to explore. So we were not able to explore Kanpur, and we did only touch base them to just for the sake of the circuit kind of thing. But yeah, that was a good ride. I did enjoy on my bike. My bike did perform flawlessly, and that is the only verdict that I have on my bike. It did miracles. Like, I always dreamt of a bike which would do this for me, that I can do 100, 110, 120 flawlessly, or I should not get the vibrations creeping in. It does not. Till 120 it's a makhan kind of vehicle. And I was also concerned about the wind blast and all. There is wind blast, there are wind noises. You need to take care of them by using earplugs and that kind of thing. But if you are able to get through those noise thing, cut off that noise thing, the bike, the wind noise, the wind blast is also not that tiring. If I did a 900 kilometers ride and the next day I went to office and I worked there, so I think that it is a flawless vehicle. And regarding, and the seats are also good. Everything did is what I wanted from it to have, and that is how. Thanks a lot, guys, for if you are watching this video till here, my massive thanks for that. Um, uh, do let me know in the comments down below what do you think about the videos, and what are your expectations related regarding the content that I am creating. And with that said, guys, keep learning, keep moving, and most importantly, keep traveling.